On the distant planet Vorin, strength, beauty, and fertility were not just admired, they defined a being's worth. For the Vorinians, reproductive capability was sacred, and those deemed unfit were shunned. Among them was Lyra, a young alien girl whose features were delicate, almost fragile, compared to her peers. Her iridescent skin lacked the shimmer considered desirable. Her limbs, though graceful, did not carry the muscle tone celebrated in her culture. Worst of all, she had never been chosen during the mating ceremonies, a humiliating rite that determined social status and respect. Lyra spent her days in isolation, hiding among the crystal forests of Vorin's southern valleys. She watched as others paired, birthed, and thrived, while she remained invisible. "I'll never be enough," she whispered to herself one night, her glowing eyes reflecting the twin moons. Not strong, not beautiful, not worthy. Her solitude was broken when an unexpected visitor arrived, a human named Elias Wren, part of an interstellar exploration team. Humans were rare in this sector, and most Vorinians treated them with suspicion, even hostility. Yet Elias did not seem afraid or arrogant. He simply observed, curious and unassuming. Lyra, startled by his presence, tried to retreat, but curiosity held her back. Something about his gentle demeanor felt different from the disdain she was used to. Middle, the human who saw her, Elias soon discovered Lyra hiding among the crystalline trees. Unlike the other Vorinians, who dismissed her as weak, he treated her as a being worthy of attention. "Hi," he said softly. "I'm Elias. I don't want to hurt you." Lyra froze. She had expected mockery or fear, not this calm, human voice. I'm Lyra," she whispered, unsure why she felt compelled to respond. Over the next days, Elias sought her out, sharing stories of distant worlds, of humans who value character over appearances, and of bonds that transcended beauty or strength. For the first time, Lyra felt seen, not as defective, but as herself, but she remained cautious. I'm not breeding material," she admitted one evening. "No one here wants me. I don't fit the standards." Elias smiled gently. "That doesn't matter to me, Lyra. What matters is you, your courage, your mind, your kindness. Those are the things that truly matter." Her heart skipped. She had never heard such word before, not from anyone in her world. No compliment had ever carried such weight. Encouraged, Lyra began joining Elias on small excursions beyond her valley. They explored glowing caves, watched the sky streaked with aurora storms, and navigated markets where humans and aliens traded rare goods. Each moment with him strengthened her confidence, slowly eroding the insecurities that had ruled her life. One afternoon, while observing a waterfall that shimmered like liquid light, Elias touched her shoulder. "Lyra, you're incredible. You see the world in ways others don't. You matter." Tears of relief and joy glimmered in her eyes. She had always believed herself invisible. But Elias saw her, truly saw her, the challenge, facing the world. Word of Lyra's unusual association with a human quickly spread through Vorin. The ruling elders, who upheld rigid standards of beauty and reproductive worth, were outraged. "You are being corrupted," one elder said, glaring at Lyra. "A human cannot define your value. You are weak and unfit for our society." Lyra felt fear and shame rise up. She had spent her life internalizing these words. But Elias took her hand firmly. "Ignore them," he said. "Their opinion doesn't define you. You are more than what they label you." Despite his reassurance, the scrutiny increased. Lyra's peers whispered, calling her a disgrace, and the elders scheduled a public evaluation meant to humiliate her. The day of the assessment arrived. Lyra stood on the platform, her body tense, her aura dimmed in fear. The crowd murmured. Even the elders looked down upon her, expecting failure. Elias, standing at the edge of the assembly, raised his hand in encouragement. "You are enough," he whispered, and the words carried to her heart like a warm current. With a deep breath, Lyra stepped forward. She demonstrated her unique abilities, her agility, her intelligence, and a rare empathic talent that allowed her to sense and respond to emotional currents around her. For the first time, the crowd saw her not as a defect, but as something remarkable. Elias watched, proud, as Lyra's confidence radiated outward. The murmurs of judgment slowly transformed into whispers of admiration. Climax, recognition, and acceptance. After the demonstration, the elders convened. Many remained reluctant to acknowledge her, but the evidence was undeniable. Lyra had abilities none of her peers possessed. When they turned to her for judgment, Elias stepped forward. "Her worth isn't just what you see on the surface. She has intelligence, compassion, and courage. Those are qualities that matter across galaxies, not just in Vorin." The Queen of Vorin, who had initially been skeptical, studied Lyra carefully. Finally, she spoke. "You have shown us that true value cannot be measured by tradition alone," she said. "Lyra, you are not only worthy, you are exemplary." Lyra's heart soared. She had finally received validation, not because she met arbitrary standards, but because someone believed in her intrinsic worth. Elias's presence had not only changed her perception of herself, but also challenged the prejudices of an entire society, ending a new beginning. Months later, Lyra's life had transformed. She was no longer hidden in the valleys, but actively involved in societal initiatives, helping reform Vorin's rigid systems to include empathy and diverse talents. Elias remained by her side, not as protector or superior, but as a friend, mentor, and companion. His human perspective had shown her that worth was not defined by reproduction or appearances, but by action, heart, and courage. During a festival celebrating the reform, Lyra stood on a balcony overlooking the city. The sky was ablaze with fireworks, alien colors twisting and turning in celebration. She smiled, a genuine, radiant expression that had been impossible before. Elias approached, offering her a hand. "You've changed everything," he said, "and the best part is you changed yourself." Lyra took his hand, feeling strength she had never known. "And you showed me that I'm enough," she replied. As the twin moons of Vorin rose high, the city pulsed with life and hope. Lyra had learned that self-worth was not given. It was realized, nurtured, and sometimes sparked by the kindness of a single human who saw beyond the surface. The alien girl who once thought she was unworthy had finally discovered her own strength, beauty, and value. And she knew, deep in her heart, that the universe was vast, but with someone who cared, even the smallest being could shine like the brightest star.